Hello guys, welcome to the 10th lecture of our Cursor AI for Advanced Users course, and in this video we'll talk about how AI in Cursor Terminal can boost the developer productivity. Okay, so let's start. So in this video we'll discuss about how we can turn our command line, the terminal that we have inside the cursor, into an intelligent assistant, right? We can execute those shell tasks using plain English, and then we don't have to remember the long commands. If you think about it, like if you want to execute some Docker commands, or if you want to execute some Git commands that require a lot of flags and all, right? So it's almost impossible to know all about those commands, right? But we can just give plain English to Cursor Terminal actually. I'm not talking about the ask agent or plan mode. I'm talking about the AI in the terminal inside the cursor. We can just talk about in plain English and it will generate the commands for us. We can automate this repetitive terminal actions using some scripts. We can put all those commands into one script, and then what will happen is it will actually speed up our workflow. Okay, so let's talk about terminal productivity. So developers rely a lot on the terminal for setting up things, or for deployments, for building your project, and even for Git, or basically version control management in your project, right? Cursor, what it does, it adds AI powered automation, basically translating your plain English language or the intent behind that English language to correct commands instantly. Okay, so let's do a few demo. So what we have to do is we have to go to our cursor, and actually I have done a few things as well. So basically, while we were building this project, our Blockforge project, I was actually committing the things at different points of time, and this is something that you should also do, and it's very easy to do with Cursor. So for example, if you had some changes, it will show here, and then you can use this generate commit message. It will basically analyze your changes and generate a very professional Git message as well, and then you can just publish, or actually not publish, but actually commit your changes from here only. So I have 4 commits so far into this, and I'll show you like what I'm trying to say with this as well. Okay, so what you have to do is actually, if you look at here, we have the terminal open, right? So here you can see here that we can press Command K to generate a command, right? So on Windows you can do maybe Control K. I'm on Mac system, so I'm doing Command K. So if I do Command K, so this actually opens up inside the terminal. It has a lot of context about the files that you have, the project you have, and all those contexts it has, right? So I'm just gonna say, hey, generate command to show all the template files, right? So this is the command I'm asking to Cursor AI inside the terminal, and when I press enter, it will actually generate a command here. So see, find dot minus type dash type f minus an a, and then minus name, and then this is the template. So if I press enter here, right? So, oh, I didn't get anything. So I'm gonna say generate command to fetch all the template files ending with HTML extension. Okay, so let's press enter now, and this is the command it is generated. If I press enter now again, so this is not I want something to be dot maybe star.html. So if I do this, let me check. If I do this, and these are the template files that we have gotten, right? So Cursor was able to write this command for us, and then all we have to do is maybe our regex, something like this, we have to change, and then we can see all the template files that we have created. That is something that Cursor was able to fetch. Okay, so this is about the first demo. Let's quickly do a few other demos. So as you can see, as I was telling you, that these are the different commits that I had made. And in the last commit, we actually enhance our AI integration for social media and content generation. Okay, so maybe let's imagine that there are like 1,000 commits here, right? And I wanted to ask Cursor like this, something like this. Like I can take it from my notes as well. Find the commit where AI changes were done. Okay, so I'm gonna say find, basically generate a command to fetch the commit where AI changes, or basically AI integration was done. Okay, so, oh, not here, I'm sorry, we have to write it here. So I'm going to just copy this, and we have to write it here, so it has done something like this. It has git log all grep AI is equal to integration. So if I press enter, and I don't have anything as output, but it's fine. The reason we didn't need this, and let me quit back as well, right? But this command is very useful, right? So basically I can see that it has AI integration here. So maybe what I can do is I can ask it to maybe ignore the case, then I might fetch it from might fetch this commit. Okay, so I'm gonna say command K, and I'm gonna say copy this again and paste it here where AI integration was done, and ignore the casing while grepping, right? So let's see what cursor does now, and grep, and I think minus I is the flag. So see, we don't have to remember this flag. This minus I flag is something cursor has done for us. So if I press enter now, and yeah, it has fetched the commit for us, that this is the commit, and you can see the commit ID and all. You can check out in that commit and basically analyze the changes and fixes as well. Okay, so this is about Git. Let's do a few more demos. We can also locate the database file and create a compressed backup with today's date. So what I'm saying is basically, I think in this one, we have been storing data into maybe into our app.db file, right? While we were doing this, all the blogs and everything I kind of stored in this app.db file. Okay, so what I want is generate, or maybe not generate, I can just copy it from here, locate a database file and create a compressed backup with today's date. So I'm going to say locate the database file and create a compressed backup of the database with today's date. Okay, so just imagine this, guys, like we had to do a lot of stuff in terms of command lines. Like this is a very complex command, right? This is a very complex command. And with this cursor AI in terminal, we can write this complex command so easily via just plain English. This is what I want to speak about. So if I press enter here, and do we have a database? Yes, we have a database backup created. Like if our database file is deleted or something like this, we can just extract it from here. So this is another nice thing, and this complex command is something generated by the AI in Cursor. Okay, let's talk about the last thing. So we have been doing a lot of stuff in our project. How to run the project, how to install the files and all those things. And initially we set up our virtual environment because it is a Flask app. So what I can do is I can ask Cursor maybe create a script file that will basically set up my virtual environment, install dependencies and init database as well. Also something we can do, we don't have to do this one in terminal. We can just ask Cursor AI to actually do this, like create start.sh to set up VNVs, install dependencies and init database. Okay, these are some things you can think about, like these are some things that you need to think about in terms of like if we can do this in terminal or not. And this is something we'll use the agent help to kind of do that. Okay, so let me go back to Cursor. We have the agent mode selected, and then we'll say create setup or not setup or a start.sh file to set up VNV, install dependencies and initialize the database. Okay, so Cursor will actually go ahead and create a start.sh file, and this file along with this project, inside this project it will create it, right? And then all we have to do is just run this file to set up my project, right? And the other stuff, VNV, PyCache, and maybe even the instance, all those things we don't have to commit to our GitHub as well, right? All we have to do is execute this file and our project will be ready to go. So this is the important thing that I was talking about. Okay, so let Cursor generate the content for this script file, and then we'll just analyze the content of this file. We don't have to execute it. But the idea behind this is these script files can be used a lot when we are trying to deploy a project. When we are trying to, if we had this project inside some place, we can just execute this file and then our project will start running inside that instance as well. Okay, so let's check the file that Cursor has generated. We'll keep it. And then this is the file. Like usually this used to take a lot of time and you might fall into a lot of if cases, else cases and so on and so forth, right? But with Cursor, it's so easy, right? You can Flask app, Even the env file is kind of creating, initializing the database, migrations and all those things, create initial migration if no migrations exist, and then unuploads kind of directory if it doesn't exist, and then echoing a lot of stuff, right? So it's really good. And next steps kind of, it's echoing that, hey, these are the few things you can do, and then you can just start running your app. Okay, so I'm just going to run this, right? And what we have done is basically, let's check requirements.txt. I'm gonna say that hey, I don't need all these things for now, and then review next file. I'm just gonna keep these things, so these are things are fine, right? And let's run this. So now Cursor is generating a readme.md file to document the setup process. I don't want to make changes in my requirements.txt as of now, so I'm just gonna not make any changes there, otherwise my current project will break, right? But the idea behind this, you can have all the script files which you can run independently to kind of start your app with this. Okay, and this is really good, right? For example, it has generated your readme.md file for you as well, which you don't have to write manually. So this is also very good. So it's saying the setup is now completely automated. User can get started with just executing this start.sh file. Okay, now I can show you how we can make a commit to GitHub as well. So this is the different files that we have generated, right? And do we want the backup database file? Okay, let's commit it for now. And then this is the thing, right? This analyzes my commit here. And if I just click on this, it will generate a commit message by analyzing all the files. So let me do this. Right, so it is analyzing these files, and let's see what the commit message is. So commit message is this: fix UI, refine post editing interfaces, and improve user feedback. No, it's not the case actually, right? We have actually a feature for setup, right? Setup is basically, we can say what is the setup? Setup is start, or actually set up the initial V dependencies and initializing the database. Okay, so I think something Cursor is messed up, but we can always write our own message as well. So we can just commit it. We'll say yes, stage all my changes and commit it, and yeah, we have the feature here ready. Okay, so this is what I wanted to talk about. So basically the important thing is this command K here, right? You can do stuff, you can write in plain English, and it will generate the commands for us. Okay, so that's it for this video, and I'll see you soon with another video very soon. Bye.